this week I had a group of young pups in year 7. It was dirt bikes. And even though we didn't talk anything about dirt bikes, they come up to me after the session to talk about it, because that was enough for them to have some skin in the game, to be alive, to want good, to be a good mate. Like, they cared about something. And Australian culture, we've got this overarching kind of chill apathy. And now the young pups, they call it nonchalant. And as I say to them, with all due respect to any true Aussie patriots, Aussie men don't need to be any more nonchalant. It's not something we lack for. We actually need to take on a bit more responsibility. We need to care more. We need to show up for the things that matter. Be chill about stuff that doesn't matter. But for the stuff that does, like who you are, like your families, like your communities, like your vision for your life, like that matters. You should probably think about that. Maybe not every day or every moment, but like we should take stock occasionally and think about the things that matter. So that's what I say to them. And I see the difference with the boys who they don't have that same twinkle spark in their eye. And I'm not judging them. I just feel sad for them, like that they've kind of got nothing that's dragging them and, putting them on the court with skin in the game to like show up well. Yeah, I've seen that where a young lad up in far north Queensland, he wanted to be a BMX rider. And so he was just like, he knew that he needed to be a good man, needed to be disciplined, have character, be respectful, because he wasn't going to go far if that's the career he wanted, if he didn't have those character traits. Yeah. So there was enough to have skin in the game. And I feel young boys are being black-pilled, which is like when you feel demoralized, no hope, got no prospects, everything's against you. And it's like, no, we want them to have hope. We want them to know we want good for them.
Yeah. No, very much. When it comes to...
Sorry.
No, you're right, mate. You're right.
I'm almost done here of yapping.
No, that's okay. What I'll do is we'll, because your voice is obviously giving out on us. Oh, gosh. Let's wrap it up with a thought of, can you give us...
I don't know what just happened just then. I was so in the flow. Gosh.
You're doing well, mate. Hey, sometimes you just hit a wall. It's all good. It's all good. Can you wrap it up with giving us a message of hope on how... like the young people of today, why, obviously we want to believe in them, champion them. Just give us, wrap it up with a nice hope.
Oh, I think for me, like every single day, every single week, I'm in all sorts of postcodes all across Australia and seeing young boys who lean into these conversations. Sometimes you kind of got to get a bit authoritative with them. I always start friendly, strengths-based, but sometimes you need to rattle their cage a bit. And boys aren't always opposed to that, and they get it, that this matters. I'm not saying every single one of them, but I think one of the biggest things that I've been sharing when I speak to adults, whether it be staff or parents, is like, we can't make the assumption, and I know anecdotally, but I've got some evidence to prove it, that boys are up to their eyeballs in all of this harmful stuff and they love it and they think it's great. They're actually thinking really critically of it all. They're wanting something more. They're not necessarily sure that what they're encountering online, as I said earlier, is actually good for them and is setting them up to thrive. So I think if we can come alongside them, we see boys lean in. They want these conversations. They're just not going to come home and say, "Hey, Mum, Dad, can we ever talk about healthy masculinities and respectful relationships?" Like, they're not going to do it, but they're up for it if we lean in. They're up for it. They're not going to go at lunchtime and say, "Hey, lads, let's get together and have a yarn about how we can show up as good men." I create the space for it at their schools. They lean in their small groups, chatting to their mates. Like, without fail, the vast majority of boys just lean into these conversations and they're up for it. I'm not going to sell some 100%. No, it's not, right? It's not. You're never going to get that. But people need to know that the vast majority of boys are absolutely up for these conversations, and we have to create space for them and assume, like I said, they're thinking critically about their culture and they're very open to thinking about who they are as a man, the type of bloke they want to be, the type of mate that they want to be, how they want to show up in their romantic relationships if and when, what that looks like. And so, assume good intentions, assume that there's actual openness there, and you'll be pleasantly surprised as to what you find.